Greetings to you all. I welcome you to the video lesson on Kamala Vijayaratne's poem To a Student. Before reading the poem, let me introduce myself. I am Dr.K.Muthamil Selvi, Associate Professor and Head, PG and Research Department of English, the Standard Fireworks Rajaratnam College for Women. Let me share a few words about the author to begin with and her contributions to the field of literature. We shall have a look at the background of the writer that prompted her to write this poem. Kamala Vijayaratne was born in 1939 in Sri Lanka, and she received her graduation from the University of Peradeniya. Now it is named the University of Ceylon. She has mastered 2 master degrees, and she has a career as a school teacher, and then she taught in Teachers College too. Her innumerable poems are published as collections and anthologies, and here is a list of her poems. The Smell of Aurelia, A House Divided, The Disinherited, That One Talent, The White Saree and Other Poems, Millennium Poems, A Prayer to God, Uplavavan. Among the many accolades won by the writer, here are a few. She has received the State Literary Award of Poetry, State Literary Award for Best Anthology of Short Stories twice, Godage Award for Best Anthology of Short Stories in the year 2012 and 14, and Sahitya Ratna Lifetime Award. Her poetry focuses on a variety of issues that are related to war, pollution, corruption, love and death. Some of her poems are autobiographical confessions, and she depicts the depressed state of human beings amidst war-torn Sri Lanka. She reacts to the continuing violence and the social upheavals of the 80s and 90s. Her concern for the widening gap between ethnic groups in Sri Lanka is revealed through her poems. Now, we shall have a look at what prompted her to attempt on the above variety of themes. The ethnic tension that were long simmering between the Tamil and the Sri Lankan groups, fanned by a couple of events that empowered the Sri Lankans with sole authority in administration, was the main reason. That led to attacks and confrontations between the Tamils and the Sri Lankans. Over 70,000 people were massacred, both from the forces and the civilians, and that invited the attention of many countries around the world. The unrest resulted in breaking of war in the year 1983. Large number of Tamil people fled to different parts of the world as refugees, and the IPKF, Indian Peacekeeping Force, was sent by India to Sri Lanka, and this provoked the LTTE, and the then Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, was assassinated. Many undesirable events followed later, and finally the war came to an end after Sri Lanka proclaiming the death of LTTE chief. With the prevailing social political scenario, Kamala Vijayaratna wrote reflective poems like A Soldier's Wife Weeps, Monument, Musical, On Seeing a White Flag Across a Byroad, Survivors. And all these poems are collected as war poems. Now we shall see the setting of the poem. The poem was set in the violence-ridden Sri Lanka, and the Shingala teacher is the class teacher of the class. It is a mixed classroom of Tamil and Sinhalese. Now we shall see the poem. To a student. Yes, this is a very short poem. I'll give a first reading of the poem and then a short summary followed by the analysis. I know why your eyes leap away when they meet mine, why they quickly stray from the quiet contact. I do know your ears are stopped against my voice. The echoes of gunshots have blocked all extraneous sound. Blasts of Janus have cracked the drums. My eyes, as they see yours, see torn pieces of human flesh suspended from bushes and trees, fragments of splintered bones, shreds on olive green. The road spewing human blood. My ears echo a burst of landmine. But why can't your irises lock with mine? Our ears stop all unkind sound. Let us shake off the brand names and search for her that heals and makes a cooling poultice to cure mass lunacy. Leave behind those Ilians and Carthages to antique dealers. Let us plan fresh mythology to stop other Hiroshimas. Now, in this poem, the teacher is calling the attention of the students. Why the student is terribly looking away when the teacher wants to talk to him. And the student is afraid to look directly into the eyes of the teacher. See, she says, the student is not able to listen to a student. I know why your eyes leap away when they meet mine, why they quickly stray from their quiet contacts. I do know your ears are stopped against my voice. The echoes of gunshots have blocked all extraneous sound. Blasts of geranites have cracked the drums. My eyes, as they see yours, see torn pieces of human flesh suspended from bushes and trees, fragments of splintered bones, shreds of olive green, the roads spewing human blood. My ears echo bursts of landmine. But why can't your irises lock with mine? Our ears stop all unkind sound. Let us shake off these brand names and search for herb that heals and make a cooling poultice to cure mass lunacy. Leave behind those Ilions and Carthages to antique dealers. Let us plan fresh methodology to stop off Hiroshimas. Yes, in this poem, the poet is very much concerned about the student's trouble, he is not unable to look directly into the eyes of the teacher, because he is a Tamil student and she belongs to a Sinhalese ethnic race. Now, the student, maybe he or she, is afraid, is scared to look directly into the eyes of the other ethnic group which is massacring her own race of people. And this is haunting the student very much, to an extent that he or she is not able to directly have eye contact with the teacher or other Sinhalese friends. And the teacher pictoriously describes the scattered remains of the war, how the bones, fragments of splintered bones, shreds of olive green, the uniform color of the LTT, both the LTT and the military people of Sri Lanka, and how the human blood is spewing on the roads. All these come to the mind of the student, and the student is undergoing an unrest. He or she is not in a condition to digest all the losses, the human loss, the material loss they have come across. So, the sight around Sri Lanka disturbs the young minds in the society. But the teacher is a very caring and loving teacher. And so, she wants to encourage the young generation to find a means out of all these situations, because the student is disturbed psychologically after witnessing all these violent situations. So the teacher wants to find a way out of these incidents. She wants to help the students dearly. She says, "Why can't your irises lock with mine?" Okay, and now she says, "Leave behind all those aliens and cartridges to antique dealers. Let us plan fresh methodology to stop other Hiroshimas. Let us all come together, sit together, discuss and plan new ways to find out a solution to stop this destruction." And she is also making an appeal and says, "and make a cooling poultice to cure mass lunacy." So the people of both the nations, to her consideration, they are filled with lunacy. They are fighting against each other, killing each other, leaving them maimed. And the teacher is very concerned about the loss of life and the effect or impact of these wars on young minds in the society. So this poem is a very short poem, and it clearly conveys the deep-rooted agony among the Tamil students. And the teacher, she wants to convey the impact of the ethnic war on the society and find out a solution. So this poem, as we saw, is not a metered poem. It is non-metrical and it is free verse, and it has a beautiful message to the student community to work for harmony and peace in the land. I am happy that you have watched this video lesson and you got benefited by the message conveyed by the poet.